Today is Sylvia's story time. I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about my dog, or my parents' dog, named Toby. He is living with my parents. I don't get to see him, especially with the quarantine, but I miss him. So this is a story about how he almost died from toxicity. And I wanted to share it with anybody who's listening, just in case they kind of see the same symptoms or signs as I'm about to tell you about, so you guys know what kind of tests to ask for or talk to your doctor about my story, and perhaps it could lead them into finding a diagnosis or a treatment. So at birth, as you can see in this little video, he was a sprightly little pupper, jumping around. He was super cute. He had so much energy. He seemed to be perfectly healthy. All of his vet visits were clear, like he had no problems at all. Except, dogs vomit, and he did a lot of that frequently. And he would eat a lot of the grass outside, which I was told that sometimes dogs purposefully eat grass outside so that they will vomit. I don't know why he would feel the need to vomit, but he was eating grass pretty frequently and then coming inside and vomiting like this chunk of green. On the outside, he seemed physically pretty healthy, and according to his vet visits, there were no issues. We did think that he was kind of like emotionally sensitive, because if we were not home for a while, or if he was like particularly scolded in a loud way, he would kind of retreat and he would be really quiet and kind of like depressed for days. And he would sit in his little dome, and we thought that whenever he was feeling down, it was due to like some emotional sensitivity. One day, though, he was pretty strange. He was doing things he wasn't usually doing. He was growling at my dad for no reason. He would kind of walk around like a zombie. My mom kind of pegged it to being emotional sensitivity again, because he would just kind of retreat again into his little dome, and he wouldn't really want to like socialize with the humans. Usually though, when he goes into these kinds of emotional lows, he comes out of it pretty quickly, like a day or two. But this time it was lasting a while. In this clip, you can see how much he's lacking energy, and he's so limp, and he was often like this for days. He didn't even have the energy to like stand up or walk on his own. And this clip is showing how erratic his behavior is. He just could not sit still. It looked like something was bothering him a lot. And he's just shuffling around trying to find a comfortable position. And after months and months of trying to figure out what was going on, we noticed that he was having a lot of these down periods after his meals. He wasn't eating anything weird. He was eating like regular dog dry food for small dogs. We were confused. So after several visits to the vet, they ended up doing some workups. He was found to have elevated liver enzymes, meaning that there could have been some damage to the liver. And he also had elevated postprandial bile acids. Postprandial meaning after meals. So these values prompted the vets to get an abdominal ultrasound. And well, what they suspected after seeing the images was that he had an extrahepatic portosystemic shunt, EPSS. And then they suggested that he get a CT scan. If they were to confirm this condition, the surgery would have costed $10,000. So my parents forgoed the CT scan and said, let's either get the surgery or let's find a different way to help the condition. So what is an extrahepatic portosystemic shunt? Extrahepatic means outside of the liver, and portosystemic meaning what's connecting the liver system and the venous systemic, so whole body system. And shunt in this case means like a hole or a leak or like a connection. So what we assume was happening was that every time he was eating, especially proteins, it would break down into amino acids, which would then release ammonia. And it would, because of the shunt, circulate his entire body, which is toxic. This, in turn, was causing hepatic encephalopathy, which is a decline in brain function that happens from liver disease. So because of a buildup of toxins in his bloodstream that were reaching his brain, it was causing brain damage, thus causing him to be in this weird state of delirium, making him do things that he wasn't doing before. So the options were pretty much to do a $10,000 surgery, put him down, or hope for the best with a vegetarian diet. There is a happy ending. He is as happy as ever. He's perfectly healthy now. The condition's not gone, but it has been treated, I guess you could say, by putting him on a fully vegetarian diet. So my dad grinds up these vegetables every week, and then he'll mix it with a little bit of rice, and he eats that right up in like 3 minutes, and then he wants more. But now the issue is that after putting him on a vegetarian diet, surprisingly, now that nothing's upsetting his system and he feels good, he's always hungry, and now he's considered obese. It's actually really cute, but it's serious, and he needs to lose weight. Interestingly, the change to the vegetarian diet also kind of cleared up his like brown watery tears. So the staining below his eyes has gone down noticeably. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it helps somebody out there. Disclaimer, I am a pediatric nurse. I am not a doctor. I am not a veterinarian. What I presented to you today was kind of what I gathered from reading his vet notes. So if I said something that was a little incorrect, again, I am a pediatric nurse. Okay, bye, thank you.